Another episode of With the Chiefs.
Wait. Man, I need more rest.
I hope I've got your last name right there.
It's a very good pronunciation.
You should know better than that now, Dom.
I know.
Welcome back to another episode of With the Chiefs. Today, I think this is a special episode. We've got Dom back, and we've got third time on the show, Sota. Maehara, was it?
Of course, we have to start off with that.
Oh, no, sorry, it's
Maehara.
No, you got it, Smithy.
Maehara, just like you said.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, it's an honor to be back.
Yeah,
third
good to
time
have
on.
you back.
We're making With the Chiefs history here.
We are.
Yeah.
Probably just keep, that tally will just keep going up, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, it's good fun. I'm happy to be back as much as you want.
Yeah, well, you're
Yeah.
back in Sydney now, but obviously that's been a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, when did you get back?
Got back early August. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
like 4 months on the dot away,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And Dom, when did you actually leave to go on holiday?
Oh, I think it was May.
Yeah, right, okay.
Um,
It's been a
I
while.
don't know. Was I overseas for your birthday? I think so.
I think you were, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a message.
Yeah.
No, I think you sent me a message.
Yeah, did you get me a message?
Yeah,
He's
you
making Dom look bad for no reason.
Yeah, so you got back today as well.
Last night. Yeah.
Last night, yeah.
Yeah.
What's it like to be back?
Yeah, stressful. Just I feel like when you're overseas, you're not doing much. You got like maybe two or three things to do throughout the day, and you can do them at any time. But being back today, it's just been like flat out. And
Yeah, admin.
Yeah. My car battery was dead, so I had to go to Repco and get a new battery, and then got the wrong size, so I had to go back to Repco and get another
Got the
battery.
wrong size.
Yeah.
Whose fault was that?
That was my fault.
Okay, just
Well,
confirming.
Kind of was the guy's fault because I told him like this is my car model and make, and I had a photo of the battery, but you couldn't really see what size it was, and he's like, "Oh yeah, should be the right one. It should have a bit more power as well," and that kind of got me thinking. Hang on, like
This sales pitch sounds very familiar. When I was working in retail.
I was thinking like, yeah, hang on, like that doesn't seem right. Like surely that'd be like sort of standard.
Yeah.
Power levels for each car.
You can't
Could
give
be
it
wrong.
more juice.
Yeah. And, anyways, it was the wrong size.
Yeah. So you just hobbled back there.
Yeah, wasted, I don't know.
And you've run twice today.
Yeah, and ran twice.
First day back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Washing, went and voted.
Why did you vote? Do you have to vote? I thought.
I'd like to get up to Blueies probably.
Oh, when
Yeah.
when the vote's happening.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't like waiting around in lines.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So it's all happening.
Yeah, it's all happening. It's been
Right.
crazy. And then, went for a run on the trails and then went for a run with you guys.
That's good.
Yeah.
What do you
Nice,
reckon?
easy 30 minutes.
What do you reckon of Summer Hill?
Yeah, beautiful. Best suburb in Sydney.
Yeah.
Very scenic. Yeah. No, I mean, I always like running different places, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So we do a bit of a training update. Maybe start with you, Dom. How's training been going since when did we speak last? Probably a week.
It was like a couple of days after the
Berlin.
marathon.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I was in Austria by then though. But it was maybe like the first day in Austria or something.
Yep.
But since then, we spent like a whole week in Austria and was just running to kind of explore the trails and see the mountains and stuff, which is pretty good. Like I feel like that's like what running's all about, just getting out there and seeing new suburbs and new places and
A bit more scenic than Summer Hill, I imagine.
I don't know, Summer Hill's right up there.
Got the church there, got
Skate park.
Yarmos, you got the skate park.
Yeah. I tried to summit like a mountain that's like 3,200 meters, but I got to like 2,900 and it ended up being pretty much like rock climbing from then on. It
Wow.
probably wasn't quite that extreme, but other people like wearing helmets and stuff, and I was on my own, and I was like, oh, probably not today. Don't really want to die up here alone.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And then I did a session up at like 2,400 meters,
Ooh.
which was interesting. It was cool. Like, I don't think I would have got much benefit from it, from just being up there for the session, but just to kind of feel what it feels like with a bit less oxygen.
And was it as tough as you thought, or?
Yeah, it was hard. It feels, yeah, kind of like you can imagine, like you can't, you feel, your legs feel all right, but you just can't really breathe properly. Like you just can't get in enough air, like even though you're like puffing and stuff, which was, yeah, a pretty cool experience. And then did a lot more just running around. After Austria, we had 2 days back at our friend's place in Switzerland, and there's a mountain that like looks out from her place. You can see this mountain called Rigi that's 1,800 meters, and yeah, we'd been to her place maybe 3 times now, and every day you're just looking at this mountain. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get up there at some point. And it came to like the last day of the trip, and it's like, okay, it's now or never. So I ended up going up there. It ended up being a bit more of a trek than I expected. Ended up doing, I think, like 40 Ks with like 2,000 meters elevation gain. And I didn't really take any food with me. So
No Mars bars?
No Mars bars or anything. And then that was like the night before the flight. So my legs were pretty cooked. But yeah, it was all right. Had the whole flight to recover, I guess. But
Yeah.
you don't really recover that much.
How was the flight? Was it as grim as you think it is?
Yeah, flying sucks. Like, I think going over was way better.
Why?
I feel like we arrived like in the morning, and then I went for a run during the day, and like you're up during the day, it's fine. And then because we were so tired, by the time night came around, we could sleep. Whereas coming back, we landed at night, and you're just like, you want to be awake. So yeah, I was just like up all last night pretty much.
How was the how long was the flight?
So I think it was like a 14-hour flight. Then it was meant to be a 3-hour layover, but it turned into a 4-hour layover because they were delayed or something. And then another 7-hour flight. So
Yeah, right.
14, I think 24, 25 hours.
I remember when I went to Europe, you kind of just 4 hours in, you're like, oh my God, there's so much longer to go. And you're just like, it's more of a mental thing
Yeah.
more than anything. And your legs are just like, you feel like you can't, well, you obviously can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It
you get
sucks.
there in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like being awake for that long. The layover was probably the worst part because off the back of like a 14-hour flight, you just like, yeah, you want to just be arrived at your like destination already, and then you have to just sit around and you're going nowhere. At least when you're on the plane, you know, okay, like something's happening.
Yeah.
The wheels are in motion. But yeah. Singapore airport's not too bad. We went to like there's a butterfly garden. It was kind of interesting-ish.
Butterfly garden.
It's like an indoor big waterfall thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Called the Jewel. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's like meant to be best airport in the world.
Yeah. It is.
It's pretty nice, yeah.
What's your experience with flying? Obviously, you've
I fly a lot, but I go to the same 5 countries over and over again. So I'm not like well traveled, but I do take a lot of flights. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never go any further than like outside of Asia. So
Okay.
yeah, I haven't really explored outside yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Europe one day after seeing Dom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be there
Dom's
for
just
like
good fun.
half a year.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what's your, how do you feel now that you're back anyway? Are you sort of,
Yeah, a bit sad. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I adjusted like that was my life. Like,
yeah, so you got used to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the first kind of, I don't know, month or two was a bit weird because it felt like, I don't know, you're kind of like thinking about work and stuff. It doesn't feel like your routine. And then eventually it got to the point where it's like, okay, this is like what we do now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think coming back has been interesting. Like just having the stress of like driving even, has been really weird. But But yeah, kind of makes me want to just move to the country or something at the moment.
Well, how long? 6 months is a long time, so you really start to adjust at that point.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
much. When
I'm
do you
sure
do you remember
it'll
when
be
you moved to the? I can see you in the. Well, just living up in the mountains or something. Maybe.
yeah,
And then you get bored and you'll be like, I want to come back to the city.
yeah. I don't know. I think I do miss like seeing you guys and stuff like that though.
That's a good one to
Like-
put in there.
Yeah.
I'm glad you finally got around to that. I was waiting. I was
All
waiting
he's done is complain about being back.
Pretty disappointed, particularly now that I'm sitting here. It's really sort of hit home that I'm home.
That's funny.
Very good. So, yeah, you're back. Good stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
We're in person. It's good.
This is it.
Nice to be back in the studio. What about you? How you been doing?
Yeah, not bad. It's crazy because I've only been back for like just over 2 months, maybe 2 months exact. But yeah, I feel like I've got so much done already in this short amount of time, like catching up with pretty much everyone. And yeah, I finally feel settled back. I live in Centennial Park now, or right opposite it, so I can get there just across the road. So yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. I think
Happy to be back.
it was almost not like a shock, but you came back pretty suddenly, and everyone was pretty G'd up to see you. I remember when we did I think it was Rhodes Park Run. You pretty much landed, and then
Yeah, I landed the night before, like
night before.
Yeah, like 12 hours before, and I was
Yeah.
straight into Rhodes Park Run. Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
It was like I've never left, you know.
Yeah. Well, it feels
Yeah.
Rhodes Park Run certainly feels like home
Yeah.
for us at
Yeah.
least. for
I mean,
me.
we've done a lot there. We've had bad races, good races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I guess we can go into what you've done recently, which is
Or training update, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I've got to do my
I
training.
know
update.
the podcast structure better than
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Well, we were gonna have at least a 20-minute segment for me as well. But
Oh yeah, of course. No, my one won't be too long because honestly, my training's been really weird. Like, the only thing that's been solid is like a long run every Sunday. But apart from that, because I'm training for Backyard Ultra, it's such a specific event. It was more like, well, how I see the Backyard Ultra is it's an eating and time on feet contest rather than like how fast you are or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mainly just commuted, run everywhere, and like have dinner and then run back home and eat as much as I can in between. So that's kind of what I did, and I just ran whenever I could and then tried to double, sometimes triple kind of thing. But I never did that crazy mileage. I mean, the highest I went was 144, which is my biggest week ever.
Yeah.
So that was high. But apart from that, it was like 100k weeks. Nothing too crazy, but it was just interesting because I had no focus on speed whatsoever, and it was just like run as slow as possible. We'll alternate between running and walking and that sort of stuff. So really weird training for the Backyard Ultra, but also kind of a nice change for once, because usually I'd want to be doing tempos all the time or whatever. But it was just so different. Yeah.
And you did, so you weren't doing any, you didn't like no sessions really?
No, not really. And I mean, I had like a weird niggle here and there as well. So my training's been pretty interrupted for the last, 3 months or so.
Yep.
Because I had shin splints, and then I had to slowly come back from it. I was pretty conservative with the comeback. And then once I landed in Sydney, I got excited and did a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then that led to like a little bit of pain in the metatarsals on the top. And
Yeah,
I was
okay.
scared that it was a stress fracture at first.
Where's that?
Like your toes.
Just like your toes. Yeah.
Okay.
The first joint in your toes.
Yeah. And
Thanks, Tom.
Is that it? Is that right?
yeah, well, it's every
metatarsal is
toe
your
has a
toe.
metatarsal. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like the third and fourth toes
Okay.
on the left side. Yeah. But it was definitely a compensatory injury as well, because I got shin splints on the right, and then I feel like to prevent shin splints, I naturally just started landing on my forefoot, which I don't usually do. And I feel like that puts a lot of pressure under the toes. So I think that's how I got the second niggle. But yeah, that put a bit of spanner in the works as well for my training for Backyard Ultra. But I still managed to fit in runnings where I could, because it ended up being a tendon thing. So, like, when I was running, it felt alright most of the time, and it was mainly when I was walking around or idle where it kind of hurt. And tendons like to be warm a fair amount, so like using it a bit is good, and it's all about like keeping it below a certain pain threshold, and then you can kind of carry on running as long as it doesn't feel aggravated the next morning and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think I had enough knowledge to kind of manage it well, and I got through it, and yeah, I got to the backyard ultra without any injuries on the start line, which helped.
Did you go physio, or that's knowledge you've had in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of had my fair share of injuries over the years, so I kind of know how to deal with it now. And I have a lot of physios that are close friends of mine that I can kind of reach out to and get help from as well. So, yeah, I feel like I have the resources to kind of get through most things now, as long as it's not like a bone stress. Then I'm like actually screwed. I have to rest. But luckily, I haven't, knock on wood, but luckily, I haven't had any problems with bone stress yet, so it's all been tendon and muscle related.
Yeah. Did you I guess like working at a shoe store,
Yeah.
are there certain like shoes that you swap to manage your injuries, or?
Absolutely, yeah. 'Cause like I always say, every shoe works a different part of the leg, so you can literally move the load away from certain areas. So when I had the metatarsal toe pain, I just wore stiffer shoes. And I also tried to wear lower drops so that I'm not in that angle where I'm putting a lot of pressure on the front of the foot. So, yeah, I have the knowledge for that as well, which helps. And also, I have a fair amount of shoes as well, which also helps with that. So, yeah, I kind of was in a good place in terms of having the resources to deal with the slight niggle. So, yeah, it was good.
That's good.
Any examples of what shoes you'd swap to? Or?
Yeah, I mean, if you have like, foot and ankle kind of pain, you want to wear stiffer shoes with like plates in it, so your endorphin speeds, carbon plated shoes work as well, but obviously they don't last long, so you don't want to waste it too much. But if not, then really cushioned shoes that don't flex because they have like so much stack height, so stuff like the Nimbus. I love my Nimbus. Just anything that's quite stiff and well cushioned. So endorphin speeds and Nimbus, I think, is what I mainly wore. Yeah.
Have they got because a lot of those plated shoes have like a pretty big drop.
True. Yeah. Oh, what else did I wear? There's a shoe called the Ultra Via Olympus.
Oh yeah.
That's a zero drop shoe with a lot of cushioning.
Yeah.
I like the Escalante as well, but the problem is they're not that cushioned, so they flex a fair amount. So I tried to wear the Ultra Via Olympus more than the Escalante and stuff.
Yeah.
What else though? I'm sure I'm missing out on something. Because there was something. That's how you know you have too many shoes.
Yeah, you
Can't even remember.
lose track of...
What would it be? Yeah, I don't know.
That's right.
Yeah, I forgot. I'll have to check and I'll get back later.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Good. Training update from me. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
we
go.
don't have time for that.
No, go for it.
What's been happening? As I've talked about in the past, I've had a bit of an aggravated hamstring. It seems to be turning the corner a little bit, which is good. So I think last week I did about almost 50 Ks of running. Just been doing some strength exercises. So like dumbbell. What's it called? No, sorry.
Deadlifts?
Deadlifts with a kettlebell, but light. Nothing major, but it's the most strength work I've done. You can't really call it strength work at this point. It's more rehab.
Yeah.
But those seem to be working. Like in general, I feel like just a little bit stronger. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, in my head a bit, but it seems like it's working. So I've just been doing those every day. I had physio on last Friday, and got it assessed, and it seems to be going well, because I did a session in the morning. First session I've done, just something to get moving a little bit faster, because I haven't really done anything faster than 4:30s, for example, or 4:15s since it's been playing up for like 4 or 5 weeks. So yeah, did 2 by 10 minutes, and I got to like 3:40s, 3:45s. Definitely felt it on like the last rep, but it was manageable. I think more like what you're talking about, where it's like you can feel it, but it's below a certain level.
Yeah.
Almost. So yeah, after that session, because it didn't flare up, I can sort of, leading into this week, start doing at least one faster workout, maybe like tempo pace, and then I've got Melbourne coming up on Sunday
10K?
as well. 10K, yeah, but it's more of a benchmark. I don't even know what I don't know what to expect, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like it's good to go in with no expectations.
Yeah.
Like where anything is a win, you know? 'Cause-
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna, I don't know. It's hard to like race a really hard 10K
Yeah.
when you're like, no, you're not really gonna get a good time. But it could be good to do a bit. Also, like, I don't know if I'm gonna aggravate it too much as well. So
Yeah.
you got the double, but I might just go out and see how I feel on the day. But yeah, I think in like 3 weeks, like even today when we ran today, it feel like it's only when I'm going a bit faster that I feel it now. So I think I've definitely taken a very conservative approach. I probably could have trained. I probably, like, if I didn't go the physio, I could have just trained through it, but I don't know how long it would have lingered. So I think, I don't know, should be good in maybe like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
so.
respect, because you took the sensible option
Yeah.
to take
yeah.
the conservative approach. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it was a bit of a...
Yeah.
There's nothing going on now, realistically, for me.
Yeah.
Like,
True. Yeah.
you know,
Unless you want to hop in the Bondi to Manly.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's one way to flare it up is to do
Absolutely,
it.
yeah.
yeah. When
Yeah.
I remember when I ran 50K, and I wasn't prepared for it. It was,
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
saying the word Bondi to Manly reminded me of the shoe that
Okay.
worked the best.
Oh, right. Yeah.
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 So the Hoka Bondi, I feel like you're never gonna find the perfect shoe for an injury, right? Like it's hard to find the absolute on paper perfect shoe, but I think the Hoka Bondi, like 4 or 5 mil drop with a lot of stack and little flexibility. Like
Yeah.
I think that's what worked the best. Yeah.
Okay.
So I remember like most of the runs where I was like commuting and then eating and running home and stuff, I just wore the Bondi the whole day kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
little sidetrack, but
Yeah.
back to your.
no, all good. I'm going to cut it off soon.
Is that the shortest training update from you ever?
I'm not done. I can keep. I can just,
Yeah. So
No.
not much to train for.
not much to train for,
Yeah.
so it's might as well. Maybe if I was like in your position at like 4 weeks out from Berlin, then I'm probably not gonna I'm probably gonna have to train through it at that point, right? You know, like
I mean, we shouldn't condone it, but
Huh?
we shouldn't condone it. But I guess runners
No, but as
would.
in like, for
Yeah.
example, I don't know if I would have personally taken time off. Like I probably would have had to either
Yeah.
train through it or
I agree.
get
I would have
to-
done the same.
Like
If it-
after a marathon.
No.
No,
So
leading up.
say I
Leading up to it.
Yeah, leading up.
twinged my
Yeah, right,
hamstring
right.
and I've only got 4 weeks to Berlin.
Like if
And you already
you were
signed
doing
up.
like Melbourne Marathon.
yeah. If I was doing Melbourne Marathon
Yeah,
and I'd been
yeah.
training for
Yeah.
10,
Yeah.
10, 12 weeks, and
Yeah.
then I'd be like, maybe I could just
Just give it a
train
go.
through this
Yeah. Yeah, right.
sort of thing. But I don't know.
Well,
Even
it's good
then,
that you had nothing coming up then.
yeah, I had nothing
Yeah.
coming up. Even then, I think it's case by case. Like you
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
if it gets too painful, then it
Of
gets
course,
too
yeah.
painful.
Well, are you eyeing anything in the near future, race wise? Well, I mean, after Melbourne 10K.
Not
No.
really. Like but after then, just get the hamstring
Yeah.
feeling good, and then start building into some strength, and then build back up to. It's going to take a little bit to get my base fitness back
For
up.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then probably just races like maybe Canberra half, and then Gold
Yeah.
Coast
Yep.
full, maybe.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Good
So,
one.
Yeah.
I reckon I want to go Gold Coast this next year.
You
I
haven't
put
been,
it off
have
for
you?
too long, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it last year, I wanted to do it this year, and I haven't done it yet, so
Yeah.
I want to do it, yeah. Maybe not the full yet, but I want to nail a good half there, I reckon.
Mm.
And that half field is stacked every year.
Yeah.
At Gold Coast.
It's all,
yeah.
all those
It's good.
races.
It's
are
good.
Yeah.
It's a really good race.
Yeah,
I've never
sure.
been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'll kill it down there. So.
Yeah. And speaking of building your base back up,
Mm.
how long do you guys reckon it takes when you're coming back from injury or illness, like to get back to good fitness?
I don't know.
'Cause it takes me a while, I feel like.
Yeah, I
Like
guess
I-
it's
yeah.
case. It's definitely case by case. But
Yeah.
like for example, before I hurt my hamstring, I did like 6 or 7 weeks of like really good training, and I felt like that got me into like a really good place.
Mm.
And then it's probably going to take I don't know, probably another 6 or 7 weeks
Yeah.
of good training to get back up to, like, at least back up to scratch,
Mm.
and then start doing some good sessions.
That's not too bad though. I
Yeah.
feel like I would take a bit longer to get back to the shape I was, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different for everyone, I guess.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's kind of like a month just building up
Yep.
mileage,
Yeah.
and then another month getting your fitness back. So it
Yeah.
ends up being like
Yeah. That seems like a good rule of thumb.
probably like 8 weeks or something.
Yeah. You definitely have to be patient though.
Yeah.
It does take a while. Like the first few weeks feel tough, but then
Yeah.
I think I heard you say it once, but like after the first few weeks, like every week starts to feel better
Yeah.
each
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is kind of a nice feeling.
It is a good feeling.
Yeah. Because you don't get that when you're in the top shape, right? Because it takes forever to even become 1% fitter when you're in
Yeah.
top shape. But
Yeah. It's
when
good.
you're coming back, yeah.
It's like when you're in the top shape, it's good for a bit because you're like, oh, I feel so good.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it's like, this is just like stressful
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
getting tiring.
maintain this.
Yeah. You get.
But then you don't want to take it down week. Like,
Yeah.
we're all kind of toxic in our head a little.
Well, when it goes, when
Yeah.
you're on the up, it's
Yeah.
like, and when you're like just getting
Yeah.
towards good fitness,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I can do this. And then when you get there,
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, I've got to maintain this.
Yeah.
And then when you get injured, you're like, oh, well, I love being fit. It's the best thing ever. So, I don't know. It's a bit of a.
Yeah.
But I remember, I think when you get to a new level of fitness, say you break your PB and you're in like peak
Yeah.
shape, you could get back there, like, you know, like you said, just working to it, but then breaking new ground,
That's hard.
that's
Yeah,
that's
that's the
when
hard
it
bit.
gets like,
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah.
do something new then. It's
yeah,
like-
get your body used to
Yeah.
and like breaking through whatever previous fitness you had. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but what? So how long do you say would take you? Like, what's
Oh,
your most
yeah.
recent?
Like, I definitely wouldn't say 6 or 7. Like, for me, it would probably take a good, 9 to 12 weeks, I
Yeah.
reckon.
And that's
Hey.
after really.
Yeah, like
not
I had
running?
shin splints. For example, I had shin splints late June or July. I forgot.
Yeah.
But no, it would have been late June.
Okay.
And yeah, I had to take like 2 solid weeks pretty much off running.
Mm.
I tried to cycle as much as I could, but yeah, I feel like cycling works different muscles. So when I came back to 4K jogging and stuff, like even a 4K jog got me sore the next day. And I had to really build back from, it felt like nothing. Like starting from nothing. And yeah, I feel like even after a few months, I'm still lacking that top end speed and like fitness, like long tempo fitness and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm still trying to build back up. But like, I'm happy to take the time though. I'm not in any rush. I feel like the next like fast 5K I want to do is early December. Because as Luke knows, we talked about this before the podcast, but
Oh yeah.
every year, last year we did a pretty good 5K on the first week of December. And I want to kind of replicate that again and give it a go with an even more stacked field this time. A lot of the no-name run club guys and Delta guys and whoever we can pull together
Yep.
to run another fast 5K. So if we can all get fit for that, that'll be nice. But again, I don't know if I'll be in top shape by then, but it's still kind of worth it going to check my benchmark, see how I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We all got a bit of work to do, I
Yeah,
think.
I'll be there in
Yeah.
spirit, but
I reckon would Dom be in the best shape right now?
yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. You
It's
two,
hard to say.
yeah, you two
Yeah.
are probably
I'm
pretty close.
I'd say-
after all the mountains, like, yeah.
But overall,
Yeah.
your fitness will still be there. And
But
yeah,
it is
yeah.
exciting that I feel like Dom and I don't quite know who's fitter right now. We're probably
Yeah.
both not in 5K PB shape right now.
No, yeah.
We're both not, but we're in alright ultra marathoning shape, I'd say.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so I think the Bondi and Manly will be really interesting. Like I
Yeah.
definitely want to work together with Dom. And
Yeah,
I think it's going to be, yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
that'll
Because
be fun.
you didn't know he was going to do it until
Yeah, I didn't know.
he walked
We
in
found out
today,
right
so-
before the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
both got very excited.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good day.
Yeah. Well, what's the date again?
29th.
29th. It's coming up.
It is coming
Yeah.
up.
Coming up.
Isn't
Yeah.
it the 9th today? 20 days to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. It's gonna creep up on us. Yeah.
When did you decide to do that one?
I think probably like a bit before the end of the marathon block. I feel like it's good to kind of have something to keep you going. or maybe it was after the marathon actually,
Mm.
because I didn't run the race that I wanted to run. I was like, okay, let's go again.
Oh, you sounded really positive in the review that you did. It was good.
Yeah.
They put that on Berlin website.
It was
No,
interesting how I
No, it was
got
good,
my
it was good.
entry for Bondi to Manly.
Yeah, how?
Like the way I got it. Are you in the Delta chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know who saw, but Orly was like,
Yeah, pick a number.
yeah.
or
Unfortunately, I think she picked up an injury or something, and she's
Yeah.
trying to give it away.
You jumped in straight away like,
Yeah, but then I also felt bad for being so early, so I was just like, maybe I'll give some other person priority,
That's
but
not-
Yeah.
but I'll
Yeah.
put my name in the mix, like
Yeah.
see if anyone takes it or not.
whatever.
But then Orly kindly, because my other friend Corey also wanted it, so
Yeah.
Orly was just like, pick a number between 1 and 80, and whoever gets the closest will,
get the entry.
get the entry. And I feel like I had a second mover's advantage because Corey went first.
All right.
So I was like, surely I'm gonna win. Like, I'm occupying more numbers because he went first. But then we won't mention what number she picked. But yeah, I don't know. I got pretty unlucky.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I felt like I had a bigger chance. Like statistically, I had a bigger chance. You can do the math, but
As soon as you bring up math, I'm like, I'll leave that to Dom.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
but
don't know. Is it still just like 1 in 80 though?
well, it's just who's closer, right? I don't know. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
do the math after actually to fact check myself.
Wait, how would it be different if it's 1 in 80 and it's only if you indicate it's
Closer
higher or lower
number
or something,
wings.
wouldn't it?
No, closer number wings. So
Oh, yeah,
Corey
true.
picked 68.
Mm.
So I occupy. So if the numbers, like below that, I pretty
Yeah.
much win, kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
there is a bit of strategy to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was second mover, so
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just disappointed I didn't win, but it ended up working out though because I just tried to work my connections a little, see who's giving away stuff, and then I think I joined a few Facebook groups and then chat to a few people. I saw what offers people had, and then eventually there was a guy that was giving it away for free, which I appreciate. Shout out to him. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna send him a shirt in the post as a thank you. But yeah,
Yeah, you're
No, I'm
gonna
in
do
the one
a
night of
shout
Manly.
out video or something. You got to do
Yeah.
a shout out video on your channel or something. I don't
maybe, but I don't think he knows I have YouTube. So.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're an Ultraman now. So
I am.
do you want to chat about your recent
Backyard Ultra.
Backyard Ultra?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you give us a bit of background on that race? Because
Absolutely, yeah. So it's a really interesting event format. It's never been done in Sydney before. It originated in the US, and it's essentially a race format where you run 6.7k every hour, and if you complete the lap within the hour, you qualify for the next hour, and like if you finish the 6.7k earlier, then you get the rest of the hour to have a break. So yeah, there's a lot of strategy involved. Like, I don't know whether it's better to finish the lap as slow as possible and then just stay on your feet, or to finish early and then sit down and rest and eat and everything. But I reckon the best way after doing it would probably be like alternating a bit. I guess you don't have to go like fast, slow, but like do a mix of both so that you kind of see what works for you and then work out from there. Because it'll be different for everyone. Like, some people would want to stay up on their feet for longer. Some people would probably want to sit down for a lot longer. But I think as a guy that's used to standing for 8 hours a day, I felt like the best way to go about it for me was to start off slower and take up majority of the hour and only have like 5 minutes in between for the first 3 hours. And then as I got more tired, I tried to do it a bit quicker and have a bit more time to eat and make sure I'm eating enough, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
do,
yeah.
do you have to start the loop on every hour, or like?
So there was like a starting corral area, like an area that we have to be as the clock strikes the hour.
Yeah.
So if you're not in there as the clock strikes the hour, then you're out. But
Oh, all right.
as long as you're in there, after the clock strikes the hour, you can go back to your tent and do whatever you want.
Oh,
but then
okay.
obviously that means there's less time to finish the lap.
Yeah.
So you got to go a bit quicker.
Yeah.
But I reckon the best way to do it is just be there on the hour, do the lap, and then do everything after the hour, kind of thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was thinking like if you wanted to try and like have a sleep, you could do a lap
Yeah.
and then have like, I don't know, if you did the lap in, 35 minutes, then you could have like 50 minutes
Yeah,
sleep
exactly.
and then go 35 minutes again.
Yeah.
But if you have to get up and go to that thing, that'd be...
I thought about that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I considered it, but to be honest, at the end of the day, when it got to nighttime, I feel like I had enough adrenaline in me to keep me
going.
awake. And
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like sleeping at all. One of my crew members at night tried to make me have a little bit of a nap, or at least close my eyes for a bit.
Yeah.
And I did, but yeah, I couldn't really sleep. So
Yeah,
I don't
fair
think it
enough.
helped. But I think the main thing for me was just trying to keep eating, because obviously your appetite goes down when you're exercising. Probably because your blood flows away from your stomach and several other hormonal factors, I guess. But yeah, I guess I had to try and keep eating as much as I can, like fried rice, and alternate between sweet and savory as well. So I tried to have a ton of gummy bears and blueberries and bananas and yeah, just everything. Yeah,
Who was
but that was fun.
Who was on crew for you?
Bit of everyone.
Yeah.
It was nice because people came at different parts of the day. I didn't really have a plan. Like, we didn't really have a roster of like, this person will be here for these hours and whatever. But it ended up working perfectly because, yeah, people just spread themselves out. That, you know, I only had like maybe 2 hours where I didn't have anyone. But apart from that, I always had someone at the tent helping me out. So really helpful. Again, shout out to everyone. I made a video on it and
Yeah, I think
already listed everyone that came.
There was a lot of people.
Yeah,
heaps.
there was a lot. Yeah,
yeah.
But they didn't all come for me because Michaela also did it and
Yep.
stuff like that. So yeah, it
It was
was
Michaela,
just good vibes.
Lauren,
Michaela, Lauren, Corey from Delta, who I met for the first time at that event, and yeah, Lauren's friend Miles, who I got to meet as well. He's very lovely. He's a bit of a hiker, so I think he found it tough to like run for that long, but he smashed it as well. He did 100K, and he's only 21, so
Wow.
Jeez.
yeah. I think he was the youngest one there. Like, our whole tent was the youngest in the race, pretty much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're all in our low 20s, so
Yeah.
or
Okay.
mid 20s, yeah, low to mid 20s. So yeah, it was good fun. But I reckon the guys with more lifetime base ended up prevailing and winning. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I reckon that helps to, you know, have that training age.
Mm.
Yeah.
So who ended up winning, or what? Was the...
Guy called Mark. I don't think I got to talk to him at all, but yeah, I think he just ran really smart. Just, you know, chill every lap, and he probably has a decent amount of experience as well, I assume. But yeah, he did 28 hours or 27, something like that, and I did 20 laps and a half. But then when you do half a lap, it doesn't count, so they round down. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it was a good event. Like, I didn't know what to expect because I've never done anything like it. So, like, I feel like anything would have been a win for me. So I wasn't too disappointed or anything. If anything, I just had a good time, and yeah, it was good fun.
And how did it? How did the race play out? Like, well, how
Yeah.
did you progress through it, and what was it like at the start, and then
Yeah. The first 4 hours, I was really smart. I feel like, because, like I said, I'm used to standing 8 hours a day, so I thought it would benefit me more to be on my feet for a longer period of time. And walking is like obviously nothing when you're a runner, so I walked a fair amount of it, and yeah, really conserved energy. And to be honest, I got bored 5 laps in, and I did a really quick lap. Like, I did a 32-minute lap, and that was. It didn't feel tiring at all because I was like tying my shoelace mid lap as well, and I stopped to eat a banana and stuff, and then I walked the last 400 meters. So I must have run really quick while I was running because I actually spent a lot of time not running as well in that 32 minutes. So yeah, but you know, when you're walking so much as a runner, I feel like it gets boring, and yeah, I think that got to me. But if I stuck with that strategy for a longer period of time, like, I reckon I could have done a little better. But I learned a lot of lessons from it, though. It was pretty good. But yeah, like I said, 4 hours of super chill running, taking like 55 minutes per lap, and then one lap where I did a quick one. But that was also nice because that was when I had the most amount of crew members at my tent, so I got to talk with them for a bit longer and eat a bit more food and stuff like that. So I didn't want to leave the people at the tent too bored, so
Yeah.
I wanted to give them a bit of a show, and I went a bit quicker. But yeah, then after that, I just alternated between fast and slow whenever I felt like it. I think it ended up being like 2 slow, 1 fast, but yeah, there's a lot of strategy involved as well because I don't think as many people thought about this because I was observing the other runners and trying to see if they were doing similar stuff to me, but I ended up running a bit more when it was in daylight, like in direct sunlight. And then when it was a shadow, I tried to embrace it and walk slower because I'm aware that, heat fatigue is also a thing, right? So yeah, I wanted to embrace the shadows and go take my sweet time there. And then as soon as it was hot, go a bit quicker. And then I obviously walked up every hill. In terms of the downhill, I alternated between running and walking downhill because I felt like, based off of my anecdotal experience, when I was walking downhill, I felt like my hamstrings were working harder. And then when I was running downhill, my quads were working harder. So I felt like I evened it out a bit better. So I was really tactical about it. Like I was really thinking the whole time. I didn't listen to any music or podcasts or anything like that. I didn't bring my phone to any of the laps. I felt like I was always calculating in my head what the best way to save energy was.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think on those longer events, there's some value to listening to like get your mind off the distance, or not? That's not your experience.
I reckon so. Like I think I should have done at least a couple laps where I listened to music or a podcast, because then you can switch off a little and not think about the race. I also found that it was pretty helpful to not know what distance you're at. So I made sure my watch doesn't say my distance the whole time, because going into a race like that where your longest run ever is 50k, but you definitely know you're going to run more than that, I don't want the numbers to get in my head and scare me. So my aim was to not focus on the numbers and just be present and be tactical about every lap, just about conserving energy and not really looking at my watch.
Yeah, that makes sense. And at what point did you start to like fight yourself mentally, or did it start getting...
Well, this is the interesting thing. So I have a few people that I was talking to before the Backyard Ultra, like days, weeks before, and I kept on joking about how I'm gonna feel good 80k's in, like it's gonna be an 80k warm up, and then the race is gonna start there.
Yeah.
And everyone thought I was
it
insane. I don't know. I just
felt
felt
80k's magic number.
Yeah, well, that's like 10 hours in. I don't know, like. Oh wait, no, that's 12 hours in. Sorry, yeah. 10 hours in is 67k, obviously. And it ended up playing out like that, which is
Really?
funny. 80k's in, I felt amazing. Yeah.
Do you reckon maybe you
I went so quick for a few laps.
planted that subconsciously or something?
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, I felt amazing from like 80k, probably all the way up to 120k. And then it definitely started to get harder because as the sun set and all that, in the dark it's not that fun. And you have to pay attention even more because, when you're wearing a headlamp and the shadows start to be a bit weird and you gotta be a bit more careful and all that.
Yeah. Did you have a good headlamp? I feel like...
Yeah. Luckily Nat let me borrow hers.
Okay.
But I didn't use that every lap though. Some of the laps I used a really bad one.
Right.
But it did the trick. But yeah, I remember the last lap before it got dark, I knew it was the last one and I wanted to have fun, so I did another really quick one with a guy called Warren Wolf. Do you know? Or have you heard of him or not?
Don't think so. Yeah.
Very good ultra trail runner. He just came off, I think it was Scrooge Chamoy in Canberra, a really long race. So he wasn't racing the Backyard Ultra to win it, but apparently he told the organizer that he wanted to beat me one of the laps where I was going quick, and he absolutely sent it. And I tried to keep up with him, but I was like, this is actually really quick. I probably shouldn't follow him. So I ended up being sensible and not going out too quick. But yeah, he ended up doing that lap and then one more lap and then he ended there.
Oh, right, okay.
But he was still fresh. And then, I followed him on Strava, and days after, well, even the day after, he did a long run and he carried on training. So
Jeez.
yeah, I'm actually glad he dropped that because otherwise it would have been tough going against him every lap. But there was some really good runners there. Another guy called Grant Brisbane.
He's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's his name?
Grant Brisbane.
I think he's in the
He's in
Australia team, or he's representing
yeah,
the Australia team
for
in
the
past.
48-hour or 24-hour track run or
Yeah,
something.
24 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, that's overseas as well, right? Yeah.
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 Very good runner, yeah. I think he ended up doing the fastest lap of the whole event. 28 minutes, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
How far did he go?
I think he dropped out pretty early as well, but
Right.
probably because he's, tapering for that 24-hour run and
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah. But I do know he's a very good runner, and you can tell. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he just looks like a good trail runner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I got some good connections from the race, so pretty happy with it. It was more of a, networking, bonding time kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, look, when I saw the video, it looked
Yeah.
looked fun. Everyone in
Yeah.
that tent was sort of having a laugh.
It was just fun, good banter. Yeah.
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 So what was it like towards the end?
Yeah. So, the funny thing is, I didn't stop because of a cramp or muscle soreness or anything like that. I, 20 laps in, sorry, when I was starting the 21st lap, because that's when I ended halfway through, I noticed my joints were starting to hurt on my knee. And yeah, I was a quarter into the lap, and I looked at my average pace. You're meant to average 8:57 per K if you want to finish within the hour. And I saw that it was 9:30, and my joints hurt so much, and I couldn't run.
Right.
So I was just walking, and yeah, I just felt like I couldn't finish it within the hour. So because you passed the starting point halfway through, I was like, maybe I'll just call it quits here. Because, I think my main goal for this race was to, one, not get injured. Two, push myself enough, but yeah, stop before I get injured kind of thing. And also just to have fun. So yeah, I feel like I kind of achieved that at the end of the day. I don't feel injured. I recovered pretty quickly, if anything. My joints are fine now. So yeah, just focusing on Bondi and Manly now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're both gonna
Yeah.
be doing it. What are you keen to do
Backyard ultra.
or just one of those longer events, because it's been
It's
a
a
little
whole
bit,
different event.
It's been a
Yeah.
little bit since you've done something a bit longer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'd love to do a 100-miler one day. I
You've
tried
been close.
Brisbane,
Yeah.
and I had COVID 2 weeks before it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a bit of a letdown, but definitely sometime in the future would love to do 100 miles. I feel like that's the longest distance that is commonly run.
Yeah.
So to tick that off is kind of you've completed running.
Yeah. yeah. So the 100 miler is definitely yeah.
When are you gonna do it?
Nah. I was waiting for someone ask when I'm doing it. It doesn't for the moment. It doesn't really call out to me the longer stuff. I mean, I not dread, but even marathon training seems to be sort of quite daunting to get through. So obviously, just being out there for that long seems to. But plus, I think I feel like I really want to do get a good marathon under the belt. It's been a while, as opposed to I feel like you really have to make a shift in your mentality and training to go into the longer stuff
For sure.
potentially.
And
So-
I wouldn't worry too much about thinking that ultras are, harder than marathons or whatever. Because they're all different sports at the end of the day, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They're so different. The way you train for it and
different types of hard.
yeah.
A 5K is just as hard as a marathon, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I would say I'm more gravitating still towards the road.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
Half marathon.
I know how fun the road is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of my experience is on the road, right? So
Plus,
yeah.
I've been lost at Wildflower Park Run. So.
Yeah, that's going to
So
trail running
it's
experience.
not really saying this is going to be something naturally you're good at. So, so you never know.
But you're pretty good up the hills, seriously.
Up the hill, City Surf. Thank you. I still really appreciate you calling out me being now. I've got to live up to it. But yeah, directions might be my Achilles heel. So
Yeah, I've had a few. Pretty much every ultra race I've done up until I think Lavarito was the first one where I didn't take a wrong turn.
yeah,
So I've done it maybe 4 trail races.
And even like listening to that when you did what was the race again with Ronnie, and like how everyone took a wrong turn.
6 foot.
Yeah,
I was just,
like so like I'd just be anxious the whole time. Like road is like we're on the road, we just go straight, everyone's there, it's all good. But the trails sound very exciting and like just very different.
I'm scared of going the wrong way one day though. Like I feel like that would really mentally kill me.
Yeah.
I just don't want any disadvantage, you know? And I feel like any disadvantage in a race will get to my head.
I feel like, I don't know, like you kind of need to like approach it with a slightly different sort of like mentality. Like you're out there to like enjoy being on the trails almost, and getting lost on the trails, it's part of the experience. Like it's almost like a part of what you signed up for. So I think it's very, very different sport, like you were saying. Like, I've just really enjoyed, especially being in the mountains like the last week has been awesome. And being able to do that on the trails and in a race is really fun.
I do like how it's less numbers oriented though. That's what I enjoy for sure. But I feel like the competitive side inside of me still likes winning and stuff, you know, or like going for the win kind of thing. But it's nice like going by effort and not pace, you know. Like a marathon, you would stress about having one bad split in a K kind of thing. And like if you walk and you're trying to go for a PB, it's already over even if you walk for a bit kind of thing. I don't know. It's stressful in a different way.
I feel like there's a big emphasis on nutrition as well, and like there's a lot more elements to the race. Like so you got to like refine those aspects as well as like, you know, half marathon. I think I like it because it's like simple.
No gels, literally.
One gel.
Lock into a nice tempo and then just go.
If you've trained well, you lift your threshold.
Honestly, the half is like the least stressful race in my opinion. I love it.
It's starting to make sense why that's.
You don't like it?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done a half in a while.
5Ks hurt. 10Ks
hurt still,
but it's not as bad, I'd say. I like the 10K more than the 5K. Half I love.
Half, you feel good for a long period of the race. True.
Just lock into a nice rhythm.
Pretty good one.
Marathon's like
you have to start worrying about opening the gel and all that. And I just started doing that while running.
And marathon, it just
there's a lot that can go wrong. Marathon's like
it ends up just being like a slog fest towards the end.
If it goes well, you're like, but even at the end, it's always, I don't know, it's very rare that.
I haven't run a marathon yet where I've been like strong at the end. So,
Actually, I shouldn't be talking because I haven't actually raced a marathon yet.
You gotta tick that one off.
I do.
I reckon you'll race a good marathon.
But luckily, on paper, I haven't bunked in a marathon yet because I went past the marathon in that 50K run.
That's true.
At Wings for Life.
It certainly sucks.
So I'm excited. But then it sucked when I bunked at like 48, 49K. Like that felt crap.
That was interesting, because I had a similar experience that when I paced the Ultraman thing of being like okay at like 45Ks and then like literally it's almost like your legs just are like nah. Sorry, I got no.
There's like nothing you can do about it.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're all got their little differences, and
they're all fun and hard in different ways, which is what I like. Because like if you only race one distance all the time, you get bored of it, you know. Like like I was at the stage earlier this year where I've done like 7 5Ks in a row, getting slower by 2 seconds every time, and I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm gonna take a break. Did Wings for Life, had an amazing run, and then I started experimenting with different races as well. Like I did 10K and the half in Thailand 2 days in a row, and that was fun as well. It was so hot, so it was less about the time and it was more tactical. I kind of had fun moving away from the 5K for a while because
you focused on 5K for a while.
A long while.
That was your staple.
And it only was because I know that while I'm young, I just want to build that speed.
Yeah.
But it's not because I enjoy that distance the most. I definitely don't. Like, 5K's hurt.
Yeah, it's tough.
They're grim races, but at
Yeah.
least you're like when you're training when you do certain type of training up to marathon, you can probably run like a fast 5K, 10K, half marathon by doing that sort of training.
Yeah.
But you can focus a little bit more on speed when you're doing 5K. But
It's good feeling that speed and feeling like really strong.
yeah.
I feel like when you train for a marathon, you don't feel quite the same way.
Yeah, maybe getting up to like sort of half, and then marathon you got to do it a little bit different where you're doing those longer runs.
Your
even
tempo-
half you can still have a bit of speed. In
Yeah.
I feel like in the marathon and stuff, like your tempos feel so close to your top speed.
Yeah. I think
Like you don't have that extra gear.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
you don't do enough like 400s on the track and whatever.
yeah. I guess
Yeah.
if you're doing marathon training properly, you're just doing as much mileage as you can handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you can still run a quick 5K off that training though.
Yeah.
Given.
Because most of it is like aerobic, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, what else?
Oh no, well, I want to talk a bit more about Bondi and Manly. I want to hype it up.
Yeah, Bondi and Manly.
Well, you were on our run. You were really hyping this run up. World famous.
Absolutely.
World
Yeah,
famous.
iconic.
It's funny. I only heard about it this.
It's the second edition of it, so
Yeah.
hasn't been around for long.
Thought I heard Berlin.
No, I reckon Luke just lives under a rock because I reckon you would go to La Marita and you'd talk to a local there and they'd be like, oh yeah, I know that race.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Bondi. Yeah. Where's Bondi? What's Manly?
There was a Bondi in Italy actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was it pronounced differently though? Surely it's like Bondi or something. I don't know.
Could be, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Bondi, yeah.
That's pretty cool how there's another Bondi.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect it.
He probably came first as well.
Yeah, probably.
So, what's the strategy? Well, you don't have much time now. It's only so
Well, we both, it's not something we signed up for at the start of the year, both of us. Like, it's pretty recent news that we worked out that we were doing it, right? So, I guess we haven't had as much time as everyone else to kind of plan it out. I'm sure most people would have run a bit of every part of the course by now if they're, really trying to go for the top spots because they want to plan ahead and, you want to know where you're going. So
yeah, it's interesting though.
Yeah.
The guy who won it last year, he's from Brisbane.
Yeah.
And he'd never been to Sydney ever before.
Really?
And it was his first time in Sydney.
Yeah, smashed it.
And he was
Came
saying,
first.
yeah, he came first, and he was saying, it was a great way to see Sydney. Like he got to
Wow.
run through.
That's a
the whole
bold
city.
It really is though.
Yeah.
winning that world class event.
Yeah.
And you never been on the course
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have a
That's a
good
pretty
point
cool
though.
way to see it though.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like, because most of that route is what you'd want to run if you're, visiting Sydney, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
there's a lot
it's
of
along
great-
the water, you get good
Yeah.
views, and yeah,
No, I'm really looking forward to it.
yeah.
So how are you gonna stay on course and stuff? You're gonna just try and memorize?
Yeah, well, Dom's quite free for the next couple months.
Oh,
Month.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Weeks.
weeks.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. November is actually pretty close.
Yeah.
When you said November, I was like, oh, that's such a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
never mind. Okay,
Nah.
so anyway, the next couple weeks, Dom's quite free, so we're gonna see if we can, do a bit of the course, or the parks that we're not as familiar with, I guess.
Yeah.
Just so that we can kind of get familiarized with the route and, know where to send it, where to tone it down, and know where to turn as well. Most importantly, that's an important part. So we'll try and run a fair amount of that. I guess to give the viewers and listeners a bit of context, the parks I'm not familiar with are probably Watson's Bay and Vaucluse and that kind of area.
Yeah.
And I've never done Sea to Surf, so I'm not actually familiar with that Double Bay, Rose Bay, that area too. And then I've not really done Spit to Manly yet. So those will be the parks that I'm not familiar with. Everything else I've done plenty of times. So I know it inside out. But what about you, Dom? What parks are you familiar with? And not?
Yeah, similar. I've run a bit around Watson's Bay, Vaucluse, but I haven't. It kind of follows the coast and darts off into a couple of weird sort of places that you probably wouldn't go to if you were just running on the roads, like what I've done in the past. So I probably want to scout those little bits, and then I ran from Circular Quay to Manly, but I haven't done North Head, so I'd like to do that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll try and... Obviously, we don't have much time, but...
Yeah.
Because Dom and I really want to... Yeah, try and go as fast as we can. We're going to try and get all that done beforehand, because I want to be prepared for this. Yeah. But, yeah, in terms of strategy as well, do you want to hear about that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That was my next question.
I don't know. I'll let Dom do a bit of the talking, but I'm pretty sure Dom and I have pretty similar racing styles.
Out too quick.
Yeah. Questionable racing styles, I guess you can say.
Sorry.
Because, you know, like UTMR, we both went out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And whatever else, you know, like we're always going out pretty quick. But that's a fun way to do it, you know, because I want to find out how much tank I can empty. So I guess I don't want to speak too much on behalf of Dom, but that's definitely what I kind of want to do. But at the same time, I do want to work with Dom, and you know, having that company really lowers that perceived effort, because when you're running solo, it's a lot harder. Whereas when you have company, especially familiar company like Dom, who you know is a great runner, it's going to be, you know, a bit more settling to know inside my mind that I have good company with me. So yeah, it'll be a balance of working with Dom, but also trying to make sure we're both pushing and getting some good times.
Yeah. I think it'd be good to like work with Sota. I think 80k is like a long way, and to have someone else there to kind of like share the pain with will definitely help. I feel like looking back on Berlin, like I kind of regret not just slowing down a bit and finding Alex Shaw, who was like just behind me. And
Probably would have lifted each other.
Yeah, like in Lavarito, my favourite parts were when like I met random. There was a guy called Giorgio on the run who I was speaking to, who's Italian, and like he really picked me up when I was like starting to fall a bit. So I think that super important to have someone to run with, especially someone you know, like a good mate like Sota.
Yeah, it helps a lot. Yeah, when you know the person well as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you can relate because of Berlin Marathon, but like, yeah, like you said, if you were with Alex Shaw, you probably would have felt the company a lot more, whereas you were with a bunch of people that you don't know, I guess.
Yeah. And I feel like in the past when I've done Canberra, it's been a bit more personal as well. Like the group we were in was only like 5 or 10 people, and everyone was kind of like chatting to each other and kind of got to know each other throughout the race. And by the end of the race, you like, I don't know, have these guys who you hardly even know. Maybe you know their name, but you haven't really spoken to them much, but you feel like best mates. So, looking forward to...
Yeah, but Berlin Marathon's like
that.
Would you
Berlin
say...
Marathon wasn't the same.
Yeah, a lot of people around the whole time, right? I guess.
Yeah, everyone was just...
Yeah.
Everyone's super focused.
Everyone was very focused, doing their own thing.
True.
It wasn't really like the same sort of atmosphere.
Because I felt the same with Sydney Marathon. Obviously, I wasn't racing, I was just pacing, but like everyone was kind of locked into their headphones and like really quiet. You know, it almost felt deafening how quiet it was.
Really, with all those people, yeah.
Yeah, like no one was talking at all. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because you did that video. Obviously, you were pacing Lauren through her race, but on the video, it was like heaps of people all around you.
Yeah. I reckon the loudest 2 people on course were Adrian and Ian. As you can imagine. I mean, Adrian was screaming when I met him, and Ian... Yeah, because Ian was taking it chill because he treated it as a long run, and then because he's racing Melbourne, right? Yeah. We'll talk about him later, I guess.
Yeah. Jeez. Looking forward to that.
Fittest man in Sydney.
Fittest man. Yeah. But yeah, like Ian was fresh, and I think he finished with a pretty big negative split or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, apart from those 2, like it was dead silent. Yeah. But the atmosphere was quite impressive. Like I was. You know, pleased to see how many people were out in the streets supporting, getting behind it, because we need that atmosphere to also get a world major. So, everything kind of helps out. So,
there was a lot of. We were set up sort of at 40,
Hyde Park. North of Hyde Park.
It was like close to 41k. I think it was. So it was good to see everyone come past. There was a lot of there's a lot of carnage,
Yeah.
like towards the end because of the heat and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and you wouldn't have seen botanical gardens though. Like after we passed you guys, the amount of people on the side of the road at botanical gardens like cramping up,
Yeah.
spewing and stuff. Yeah,
rough.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
You got,
It was a hot day. I'm sure you heard, but yeah.
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 Do you reckon Bondi to Manly could be hot as well?
Yeah, but for the sake of, I don't know, just in case any competitors are listening, I'm just gonna pretend like it's nothing. No, I'm kidding. It will be tough.
Yeah.
If it's hot, but
No secrets about how to prepare for that, or
no, I don't mind.
Wear a hat.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if I have any good tips that will be worth saying, but I mean, I touched on it a bit earlier, right? Because there will be shaded parts, so maybe enjoying a bit of the shaded part, taking it a bit slower, and then
it is pretty shady for a lot of it actually.
the
Once you
sunny
get over the
parts,
Harbour Bridge,
try and send it a bit quicker. I guess the first half of the course is a bit quicker as well, so maybe try and don't go too quick, but make up a bit of time. And obviously it's less hot in the morning as well at 5 a.m. So you kind of want to get a lot of it done early before it gets too hot.
I guess
So
that plays into your
it's all tactics,
strategy
right?
as
Like
well,
there's a lot of ways to do it. Like some people might end up trying to negative split it, but I feel like that would be hard on that course. Yeah. So yeah, it would be interesting to see what other people do. But yeah, it would be lovely if we can work together with the winner last year as well. Like that'd be cool.
Yeah. I don't know is he coming down. I'm not too sure, but
Oh, I thought he was. No.
I'm not too sure. Yeah. I don't know who's doing it really.
I checked. I'm a bit cheeky. I did chuck it on VDOT running calculator to see what pace it was to try and plan ahead. But the winning time last year was an average pace of 5:01 for 80Ks.
Okay.
What does VDOT reckon? Is that you mean you're getting equivalents or something?
Oh no! It just you can plug,
just the
you can
pay-
plug
you
the
put the-
time and the distance, and then it tells you the pace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Just any running calculator.
I thought it was gonna. You know how you put your times in it? It tells you what you can do
Race
in an 80K.
equivalent.
Yeah.
Well, that
I was
would be
that
accurate because like
how
it's
would that
hilly and
work?
all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't give you an accurate. Because you said the winner did 2:32 in the marathon, right?
Yeah.
So he's a gun runner. Like
He's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I gotta go to the bathroom. Sorry.
No, that's right.
what are we gonna do? Are we gonna crop it or keep it going?
Here he is. We were just saying how much we are happy you're back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
I don't even know how much we're up to anyway.
Do you see on there?
Nah, but it's alright.
You can check on the. That doesn't really matter. Really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can start wrapping it up.
Yeah,
but
you want anything else?
How do you want to wrap it up? I don't know.
I don't know. We normally we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
So I reckon if there's anything else you wanna touch on, other than that, we can just wrap up.
No, I mean, as everyone knows already, I love hyping up events. I would not stop talking about the Backyard Ultra. So everyone's gonna hear a lot about the Bondi to Manly for the next few weeks. Hopefully this goes up ASAP because I definitely want the atmosphere. You know, I want the hype to build up, and the more support we get, the more likely Dom and I are to run really quick as well. So I'm pretty sure it's the sort of race where people are allowed to come in midway and help run with us, or is that not allowed? Do you know?
I don't know. I think
don't know.
maybe question for the organisers. But,
We'll ask. But if it's allowed, then
No, you normally don't ask, so that you just.
But Dom and I were saying like we don't want to push the rules too much and then just get disqualified over something stupid, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I reckon we do want to check in case, but if it's allowed, imagine just having a whole crew with us helping us out.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Because that would get us through the hard bricks as well.
That should be.
Yeah.
Pretty reasonable request.
I don't want to underestimate this race. I feel like it will be tough for sure, but I know it'll be quicker than I think it will be. You know, a fair amount of it will be like a, mid 4 minute kind of pace. I feel like
absolutely.
A lot of it will be. Yeah, and maybe even faster at some points as well.
Yeah, I think when I did the 6 hour, I ran 84 85, almost 86 k's.
Yeah.
And that was like 410-ish sort of pace.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, that's super flat, but like it gives you an
Yeah.
idea of the sort of splits you would be able to hit.
yeah, and on
I mean-
flat sections you can probably
Yeah.
get something similar to that.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to see a couple sub 4-minute Ks if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I might try, yeah. But yeah, Dom and I were talking about, well, Dom, Luke, and I, all of us were talking during the run before this, how we probably shouldn't come through the marathon at sub 3.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Even though,
I don't know. I'll have a look at the map and like
yeah.
see what the elevation gain is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
could be risky.
But imagine, like,
Yeah.
Imagine what?
how cool would it be if you come through 42k in an 80k race at sub 3?
Yeah. It's
I
only
mean,
cool though if you can.
It sounds glamorous.
It's only cool if you actually finish the race, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you.
If you blow up at
It could. The flip
48k,
side is.
then it's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
But
I think if you're fit enough where that's like really aerobic,
Yeah.
which if you're in sort of
Yeah.
230, 235 shape,
yeah,
then it could. And what did you split? You split like 255 in one
In
of your
that
ultra races,
long-
or 250.
Yeah. I think the
was it the 12-hour run?
I think the 6 hours quicker than that. I think it was more like 250-ish.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But the 12 hour was 255, but that was a bit quick.
Bit quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. but like still aerobic. But a bit quick.
Still aerobic, but there was
Too
probably
quick.
like 4 hours after that where I was like going
Paying for that.
7-minute Ks.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I
Okay,
ended up
yeah.
averaging like 5-minute Ks for the race.
Yeah.
That's just classic Dom race tactic. Yeah. So maybe I will need to keep him a bit disciplined in the one night of Manly.
Yeah.
Because on paper, you're more known for going out too quick in these
True.
long ultra races. But
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
I know
going to
you do it
5K.
for fun though. I know you do it for fun.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Bondi and Manly though, like
You'll be
after Berlin,
yeah.
pretty keen to just have a good one.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think that's what I regret
Yeah.
the most out of Berlin was not pacing it properly.
Yeah.
And this is like a bit of a redemption almost. So
Honestly,
Yeah.
because I will track back and say, like, if I were in Dom's shoes and if I was doing like those super long track races, I reckon I would want to see how long I can keep up a pretty good pace for before I slow down.
Yeah.
Mm.
So obviously, even if it's not the best way to race that, I would try it out. So
Yeah.
I would do something similar to you. I'd probably go out at a sub 3 marathon in a 12-hour track race.
Mm.
Yeah, for fun. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're listening to this, don't take our stupid advice.
No.
No, or I don't know. It depends what you want to do though, and like
Depends
what,
on the person. Yeah.
what experience you want to get out of
Yeah,
your race.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
everyone should choose their own race strategy.
Mm.
Exactly.
As a disclaimer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, probably wrap it up there.
Yeah. If
Good.
you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to leave a like, comment below.
Yeah.
And
It's,
leave all the
we're
YouTube
learning from the
likes.
YouTuber. Yeah. Hit that notification bell.
Yeah,
Is that
hit
what
it.
they say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, and
What's the most
am I allowed
important?
to plug my socials?
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Plug your socials.
I can't. I don't actually
King of
mind.
YouTube over here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I have a YouTube channel, Sota Maehara Running.
Yep.
Um,
Wave Running Podcast. You got your own podcast.
I have a podcast
yeah,
now.
Wave Running.
I'm loving the podcasting actually.
Yeah.
That's
Good
really
fun,
fun.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get Dom on next. Luke was my first.
Oh, yeah.
guest.
Yeah. I was
Sure.
just guess. Yeah, you got to get Dom on.
I'll get
Yeah,
Dom on.
maybe
Yeah,
yeah.
post Bondi to Manly.
Yeah.
If it
Oh
goes
yeah,
well.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, if it goes,
If it goes well.
if it goes well.
Or if it
Yeah.
goes shit.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that'd be a depressing podcast
It
for
would
everyone.
be.
Come
yeah.
on. It'd
Yeah.
be
Like
like,
post Berlin one wasn't
yeah.
great.
No, it was good. It was good. Insightful to what happens when it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and
apart from that, I'm active on Instagram the most and
Yep.
Strava and whatnot. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they're just my full name, so pretty easy to find. But
check him out. Thanks again
Yeah.
for joining. Number
All
3,
good.
you'll probably be on another time.
I'm sure
I
I will.
reckon.
I love it. I think this is a really fun podcast to be on because like we do it with like no plan.
yeah. And that says more about us than anything. But
Nah, I don't mind.
it seems to work.
I respect it because
Yeah.
I feel like this podcast you truly get the vibe that you do it for fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like there's no monetary incentive or anything like that. Like, yeah, you guys are just here for a chat, and like the audience is also probably just turbo runners Delta, right? Like,
Yeah, a
Pretty
lot
much,
of just
yeah.
people in Sydney,
yeah.
runners
So,
just like us.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like the vibe that it's more for Sydney runners. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun
So-
for us to.
Shout out to all the Sydney runners.
We like talking about running and
Yeah.
talking to other people about running, so it's pretty
Yeah, and
good.
also I guess if there's one other thing I want to say, like maybe, yeah, No Name Run Club.
Oh yeah, shout out
Yeah.
No Name Run Club.
Shout out
This
to
is
No Name Run
a
Club.
this
And
is
shout
a,
out to Ian for the
shout out
Melbourne
to Ian.
Marathon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good luck, Ian.
Let's go in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want to put too much pressure on him though. So,
Yeah.
but
But at the
you've
same
done
time,
the training.
I want to talk enough about him so that he screen records it and puts it on his
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
That's why. That's the only reason why I want to do it. No, I'm kidding. I obviously wish him the best.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I've looked at his training. He's trained so well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does like really low 230s or I don't know. If it's a good race, he might even break 230.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. I
Yeah.
think. He's saying sub 240 will be nice, but he's gonna run quicker than 239.
Yeah,
Like-
I think what
Again, not to put too much pressure, but like
yeah,
he's a fit man.
I think
Yeah.
just run your own race. Like
And he's
it's
good
in
at
the
that though. I think he's
Yeah.
pretty
discipline.
like intrinsically motivated and he sticks to the plan. He doesn't get swayed by other people's views and opinions and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like the person that puts the most pressure on him is himself. So
yeah.
he's not that fussed about external noise and all that.
Yeah.
And obviously good guy, like everyone's rooting for him. So
Yeah,
it'll be good
absolutely.
to see what he can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be watching.
Yeah,
and
well, you're
then-
in Melbourne as well. so
I'll be in Melbourne.
lucky
Yeah,
you.
I'll be going down there.
We'll
Also,
just be refreshing the Strava,
Yeah.
waiting for
Hopefully-
that long caption, but
Yeah.
I'll be waiting for it. The race
Well,
report.
Who else
Yeah.
we got? We got Brendan Fink, who's looking
Oh yeah.
fit and dangerous. You got.
I did a hill workout with him
yeah,
at
he's a
Centennial.
machine, right?
He's a
He's
machine.
done,
Yeah.
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 We got Ollie Cashman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ollie
Um,
Cashman.
He's also
He's
fit
a
right now.
weapon.
He's
yeah.
so
he
talented.
Yeah.
Just whips some fitness together in no time.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's quite a few people out. You got Meg from
Oh, yeah.
Delta.
Yeah.
She'll be
Doing
running a
your first
marathon.
marathon? Or is it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure. And Chris,
Yeah.
I think Chris Gadd will be there pacing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm keen
Yeah.
to.
I keep on extending the podcast, but
No,
another
that's
thing I
fine.
also want to say is I feel like right now, the Sydney running community, there's like a big diversion. Like I feel like there's a lot of people that are really injured right now, but then there's a lot of people that are really fit right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel for the people that are injured and coming back as well, because there's a lot of people injured right now. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't know what it is, but maybe just that time of year where you're trying to build up the base and everyone's doing a bit more higher mileage than they can handle, kind of
Yeah.
thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know a lot of people injured, so
As soon as you start
Feels for
pushing the
them.
envelope, I don't know. Everyone
yeah,
gets fit and excited, and
Yeah.
I know, yeah, and it all comes at once. I feel like,
yeah.
Mm.
Shane Wood as well. He's been training well. Delta runner,
Oh, yeah.
running some big mileage, like sort of 170, 180 k's.
Seriously.
Which is interesting because he
Yeah,
was
wow.
I was chatting to him and he only recently got injured as well, and like he couldn't run more than like 100 and 110 k's, and then started doing like he actually went to see Paddy as well,
Okay.
and just got like a strength routine down pat and just like nailed that, and all of a sudden it's like helps him run a lot more, which I found interesting. I think I
Yeah.
should take that hint. Not that I want to be running 180 k's, to be
Yeah.
honest.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But yeah, anyway, we'll wrap it up.
we will.
Thank you. Thanks for joining. Good to have you back, Dom. What is it? Stay strong
And stay fast.
and stay fast. All right. Cheers.